And welcome to this week's issue of Play Print21, the weekly online news bulletin from print21.com.au. This week we're in the stock exchange, obviously for the reason it's the results season, half-year results, three huge stories in print. First of all, Ovato, formerly PMP, its figures are out, $37 million decline in revenue, down by 9.2% to $363 million, EBIT down by 7.7%. It's printing 11% less paper, 142,000 tonnes in a half year. The reasons are the catalogues department, catalogues business is in decline, or catalogues printing is in decline, 2.3% or 2 to 3%. And magazines also in decline, 5 to 10% for those ones. And those declines will continue. Also, Ovato hit by declines in the real estate market. Ovato responding, it's closing its Moorbank print site and consolidating the best of its equipment and staff from there into its super site at Warwick Farm, the site which will get a new 80-page manual and web offset press later in the year. And at that point, 4 or 5 older presses will be decommissioned. Australian print was a bright spot for Ovato. $213 million, their sales went down, but the EBITDA was up by 38–40%, up to quite a lot, up to $13.2 million. New Zealand struggled for Ovato. Sales volume was down by 3%, $62 million, but profits slashed in half on overcapacity and prices hitting the floor. Rival IVE, meanwhile, all its figures are up. Its revenue is up 4.5%. to $375.6 million, and its EBITDA was up by 13.3%. This means, looking at the raw figures, that IVE is now the biggest printer in the country, toppling PMP from its long-time position as the #1 or as the biggest printer. Of course, both IVE and Ovato have multiple other businesses, apart from just putting ink on paper and distributing it. But the raw figures show that IVE is the #1 printer, or is the biggest printer in the country now. IVE says that Warwick Hay says the period of heavy lifting is over. CFO Darren Dunkley told investors there'll be no big capex investment going on for the next 2 or 3 years. And Jeff Seelig, exec chairman, says that the company is now positioned to realise the returns from its strategic investments. The other big, huge story this week is Australia Post. Australia Post, its letters department blew a $125 million hole in its figures. 800 million letters, fewer letters being mailed now than there were 3 years ago. The PIA, Walter Coon, Andrew McCauley have been on the front foot, calling on the government, meeting with the opposition to tell them that they've got to try and prevent Australia Post from using its sledgehammer approach under the Ahmed IV era of just jacking up prices and gouging the print and mail industries to recover losses. That hasn't worked out at all well. It hasn't worked on any level, and we know what Einstein said about trying the same thing and hoping for a different result. Watch this space. You'll find all these 3 stories, plus heaps more. Curry and his security printing event. We've got Active taking out the Maya Supplier of the Year award. Snap Circular Key and EnviroPrint winning Pixie Awards, beating off Asian competition. Andy Yarrow, new president of Cornet Asia Pacific. ProPack figures falling as well. You'll find all these stories on print21.com.au. This is me, Wayne Robinson, signing off for another week from Play Print TV.